public lashes. I understand they confused by who the devil is. Why my people get so mad when I tell them this? Valley of dry bones, my niggas skeletons. It's hectic out there, hope you checking on your relatives. Brotherhood, that's where my weapon is. And I never let these crackers take it from you. Real talk, you probably never heard this all of your life. Be careful, cause that thing you love, it'll cost you your life. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga.
Yeah.
Cause we build this shit
Nigga,
on
I done
brotherhood.
lost family, I done lost friends. Day one, niggas thought was riding to the end. Still showed up, put in that work. Hide behind a smile while I'm walking with this hearse. Some nights I felt alone, most nights I felt cold. Some nights I drove around, I ain't wanna go home. Nigga, I ain't never been, nah, I ain't never fold. Follow orders like a soldier doing what I'm told. Even when the council wasn't making any sense, I ain't never doubted, I just put it to the test. Days I was fucked up and down to my last cent. Reaching in my pockets, only coming up with lint. I'm talking even on the days that I couldn't pay my rent. I put it down for my brothers, ain't spared no expense. If I ever got bent, caused an offense, please forgive you, brother, Lord, that ain't what I meant. See that brotherhood a weapon, fight against deception. When something taken from you, then it's just a blessing. Shorty really loved me, gave me everything she got. And I'm sorry, baby girl, if I ever broke your heart. Man, mistakes that I made, don't know if they'll fade. Moving with a heavy heart, living with the pain. Take away the shame, wash away the stain. Praying to the Lord for the days that I was Cain. Sheesh.
Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. You in live the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, Priest and Captain Natazak Nashah, 10,000 ISUPK Virginia, under Commanding General Yohana. Biblical Scripture Breakdown class. We getting it. Okay, there we go. We getting into it tonight. We should be up Instagram. Y'all should see us here. We're getting it on. All right. Shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Zimataza Korah, Brother Ayan, all right, Sister Raya, shalom, shalom, joining us on Instagram. Shalom, what does it mean to be in slavery? What does God call slavery? You understand? Shalom to Shakal, Sister Hadassah, Yahweh Shemal, Atan Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Yagadar, Akol Sapar, Most High Christ. We're getting it on. Sister Debar, shalom. Yahweh Shemal, Thashim Yahweh Shai. All right. What does God say? Hey, shalom joining us on Instagram. All right. What does God say that slavery is? What does it mean to be in slavery? And our blacks and Latinos are God's chosen people. Are our people free? Are God's people free? Are so-called blacks and Latinos free? What does it mean to be in slavery? What did God say that slavery was? What did he say that captivity was? All right. Who knows what it means? Who want to give it a shot? What does it mean to be in slavery or to be in captivity? We're going to examine that tonight. How do you know who is in captivity? You understand? How do you know? Brother said bondage. All right, bondage. Are we in bondage now? Are so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans in bondage now? Right now, the majority of our people would say no. They'd say no, we're not in bondage. We're free. It's 2024. You can go where you want. You can eat what you want. You can believe how you want. You can dress how you want. There's never been more more freedom now, according to the world, according to the average blacks, Latinos. You ask them, there's never been more freedom now that our people have than we've had at any point in time in history. So, according to our people, you're free. Is that true? Is everybody free? Let's see what the Lord said. Let's see what God said is free. Let's see what it means to be free. You understand? We're going to start from the beginning. We're going to go ahead in the beginning. Let's see what God said freedom was. You understand? The Lord said he'd given an inheritance that we're supposed to have passed down from generation to generation. You understand? All right, all right. All right. Put to the inheritance of the tribe. So received it for inheritance. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers chapter 30. Numbers chapter 30. All right. Let's go to Numbers chapter 33. Let's see what this is talking about. See, the Lord, he gave us an inheritance. All right. He gave us an inheritance. We're going to start at Numbers chapter 33. We're coming out of Egypt. The Lord was giving us an inheritance. Numbers chapter 33. And we're going to start at verse 51. As a matter of fact, we're going to start at verse 50. It says, and the Most High spake unto Moses in the plains. The plains are in the fields of Moab. Moab is the biblical name for the Chinese, the so-called Chinese, which are the majority of the Asian families, the Moabites. The so-called Chinese, the Ammonites are the non-Chinese. The majority of the Chinese, the majority of the so-called Asians are the families of Moab. The Ammonites are the so-called Japanese. You understand? And their descendants and their family. So it says here, speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, when ye are passed over Jordan into the land of Canaan. We get instructions from the Lord that we passed over Jordan and move into the land of Canaan. The land of Canaan is our land. It's always been our land. That land has always been in the Middle East. Then ye shall drive out the inhabitants of the land. Why does he say that? Because the inhabitants of the land were living in the land that the Lord had given us. Remember, we're learning about what does God consider slavery, and are blacks and Latinos in captivity. So he says, you're going to drive the people out that are living there from before you, meaning they're not supposed to be there, and destroy all their pictures. Why does he say destroy their pictures? All the pictures that they have put up to make themselves at home, to make themselves comfortable, to make themselves be invited into this land. Like you move into a new house, what do? You set up pictures. You understand? Your rib is putting stuff everywhere. She putting up rugs and color stuff every day and a million towels and 10 different soaps and dryer sheets and fluffy this and colorful this and bears here and teddy bears there, all kind of stuff. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemal Atashim Yahweh Shah. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemal Atashim Yahweh Shah. All right? All of these things here. That's how you make yourself at home. You put up pictures of your mama, pictures of your kids, pictures of you and your family, pictures of your favorite artwork and tapestry. You put all your dishes away. You make yourself at home. Well, these other nations of people made themselves at home in our land. What did God say to do? You remind you, this is the opposite of how we've been taught to think. The title of the class today is, what does God consider slavery? Are blacks and Latinos free? What does God say that slavery is? That's what we're learning about. All right. It says, then you shall drive out the inhabitants of the land, the people living there. You shall drive them out and destroy all their pitches, tear their homes up. Why? And destroy all their molten images, their statues that they have for their gods, for their idols that they worship. That's a part of their culture. That's a part of their heritage. That's a part of their beliefs that they got from their forefathers. The Lord said, when you get into this land that I gave you, put these people out. Well, one time we were physically supposed to kick them out. Now the Lord is physically kicking them out with World War III. For those of you that don't know, that land over there in the Middle East where all the war is jumping off, that land belongs to us. Where all the wars going on from Iran and Iraq, Saudi Arabia. It hasn't jumped off yet in Saudi Arabia, but it is. It's going to Palestine, Lebanon, Yemen, Israel. That land belongs to us, all of that land. And there are people living in our land that have made themselves homes and made themselves comfortable. You understand? We're going back to understand and see what the Lord said. What he said was slavery. What he said was captivity. The Lord told us to drive them out, destroy their molten images, and quite pluck down all their high places, all their religious places, their religious temples, their church, their places of worship, their altars, their statues. And ye shall dispossess. What does it mean to dispossess? Who knows? That's a real black word. It's in slang. What does it mean to dispossess? See how black y'all are. What is a dispossession? What does that mean? The Lord said dispossess. What does that mean, y'all? We got it here. We got Shelly, got Anna, Sister Maya Call, joining us from Texas. Ayan, Raya, Zabara. What does it mean to dispossess? Was the Aharon said lose? It's that's right, lose. To repo, to repossess. It means to evict them, to put them out, serve them a notice. The sheriff come to the door. It's time to go. You understand? I don't know what deal you supposed to have made with the landlord, whatever that is. Don't nobody give a damn about none of that. I'm here now. You got to go. Ain't nothing we can talk about. You got to go now. Well, this is what the Lord said. This is what the Lord said right there. Repo. That's right out now. Repossession. They're getting put out. The Lord said, go in there and evict them. Destroy all their pictures, their images, tear up everything they set up, and you shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land and dwell therein. For I have given you the land to possess it. Meaning you're going to put them out and this land belongs to you. And ye shall divide the land by lot for an inheritance among your families. Meaning our families were supposed to have land to be passed down. And to the more ye shall give, the more inheritance. To the bigger families, they're supposed to get more inheritance. And to the fewer, ye shall give the less inheritance. You got less family, less children, you would get a smaller inheritance at the time when we were going into the land after serving hundreds of years in captivity in the land of Egypt. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where his lot falleth. Wherever he lives, that's his inheritance. According to the tribes of your fathers, ye shall inherit. You understand? All of our 12 tribes, land was passed down to us from our fathers. But if, remember, every time you see if, ands, or but, these are some of the most important words in the entire scripture. These were the orders that the Lord gave us. He said, but if ye will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, if you don't put them out, then it shall come to pass down the line that those which ye let remain of them, shall be pricks in your eyes. You understand? And a prick in your eye, just think about your eye, something painful. What is a prick in your eye? Something that poke you in the eye. You understand? A lot of people ask questions, why y'all wear sunglasses? Why y'all wear them shades all the time? Well, the glasses and the shades protect your eyes. That's why you got a windshield on your car. You understand? Wind, dust, dirt, all kind of stuff. That way you'll be able to see better. You understand? It says, all right, shalom, shalom. There's more people joining us. All right, shalom, sis. Shalom, shalom. All right. Shalom. All right. So it's saying there, they're going to be a prick in your eye, going to damage your eyes, and thorns in your side. It's going to cause you pain and shall vex you. They're going to make you weary. They're going to bug the hell out of you and trouble you in the land wherein you dwell. They're going to trouble you where you live. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them. Meaning, I told you don't join them. I told you don't let them be among you. I told you don't accept them. I told you they're not supposed to be with you. I told you not to. This is what the Lord said. So now, let's fast forward to where we are. I wanted to start with that scripture so that we could understand. This is what the Lord is saying. He wants us to realize, and we want to examine in your mind to see, are we in captivity, yes or no? That's what was supposed to happen. Now we want to go to, again, Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. One of my favorite scriptures in the entire Bible. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 32 and 7. All right. The Lord says, let's see if I can make it. It's not showing anyway. Deuteronomy 32 and 7. The Lord said, remember the days of old. Meaning, think about what's in the past. Make sure you understand the past. Do our people understand the past now? Are Black, Latino, and Native American children being taught the past? Are we learning about our past? Are we learning about our heritage? Are we learning our history and our records? When you went to school, brothers and sisters, did you learn about the past of your people? Did you learn about your history? Did you learn about Joshua and Moses and King David? Did you learn that the Levites, the so-called Haitians, were the Levites? Did you learn that the Benjamites were so-called West Indians? Did you learn that the Gadites were so-called North American Indians? Did you learn about the prophecies of the Lord that he gave to us? What tribes are y'all? What tribes we got in here? I see a sister Benjamite, a Gadite. You understand? We got tribes of Judah, tribes of Gad, tribes of Benjamin, tribes of Gad. You understand? All right. Did you learn that Judah was the so-called Negro, so-called Afro-American? Did you learn that the Mexicans were our brothers, were our family? No, that's not what you learned. Did you learn the dietary law? If you met a Chinese person and you went to a Chinese place where they were eating, you would expect to see traditional Chinese dishes, right or wrong. Brothers and sisters saying, they did not learn about being an Israelite in the school. They didn't teach you that. If you went to an Arab restaurant, you would expect to see traditional Arab dishes. You understand? Right or wrong. If you went to an Asian restaurant, if you went to a Japanese restaurant, you would expect to see sushi and tuna rolls and salmon rolls and, you understand, and all kind of soy sauces and teriyaki. You would expect to see these things because this is their heritage, right or wrong. Wouldn't you expect to see that? You saw the Japanese, you would think karate. You would think Toyota. You would think Honda. You understand? You would think all of the Japanese things. You saw the Chinese. You would think Chinese food and restaurants and silk, carry out, Chinese martial arts, and all of the things that are Chinese to you because they have a heritage. You understand? But when you come to black people, when you come to the Lord's chosen people, when you come to West Indians, when you come to Haitians, when you come to Native Americans, you understand? You aren't seeing that. You aren't seeing the heritage that was passed down from our forefathers. You don't get to see that. A Mexican child is not learning about his heritage as an Issacharite. A Latino brothers and sisters are being taught to better their race by marrying into white families to make whiter babies with straighter hair, to be closer to the white Virgin Mary and the white image of Caesar Borgia and the Roman Catholic Church, under the guise and the direction of our oppressors from Spain that tortured and brutalized our Latino brothers to make them all Roman Catholic. You understand? You're not learning about our culture and heritage of being righteous and being powerful and having families and serving the Lord. We aren't learning about that in school. What are we learning about? Getting beaten up with Martin Luther King, begging our oppressors to join them and sit at their table while they bust your head open. That's Black History Month. You understand? They don't teach slavery in schools anymore. They don't teach the Trail of Tears about how the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad, covered this entire land. The tribe of Issachar covered this entire land. That's right, sister. Damn right. Now they teach us we came from Africa. That's what they teach you. They teach you you're an African. You came from Africa. And the life started from slavery. You were nothing. You did nothing. You were in the jungle. And then in came the oppressors to round you up and give you a purpose in life, to give you a good Christian name and give you good Christian values, to name you John and Jimmy and Mary and Maria and Donald and good English names and Spanish names, and gave you Ramirez and Diaz and Jones and John and Jenkins and Smith. You understand? To change your identity, because before that, you were nothing. You were not a people. And if you say that's not true, then let's ask the oldest Black person that you can find out of any city, out of any state, and ask them, what is your nationality, grandma, granddaddy? Ask them, what's your nationality? Where do we come from? It's not English, because we know we're not English. Most of them will say, well, we came from Africa, the motherland. Yet and still, the East Indians who were not in slavery, they don't call Africa the motherland. The Chinese and Japanese who were not in slavery, they don't call Africa the motherland. The Polynesians and Eskimos and Filipinos and the Samoans and the Tongans, they don't call Africa the motherland, and they didn't go into slavery. Yet and still, a people who don't know their language, who don't know their culture, who don't have their own identity, who don't know what to eat, how to have families, where we come from, don't have a common set of rules or goals amongst ourselves as a people. Those people have solid beliefs based on things that they have no factual evidence to prove. And that's from the youngest to the oldest. The people who say they're the smartest, the conscious community, the Egypt worshippers, the Pan-Africanists, the Bantu worshippers, the Umar Johnsons, the Roland Martins, the Cornel West, the Claude Andersons, all your blackity black everything, they have no idea who they are, their identity. But every other people on the planet does. That is called being in captivity. It's an identity crisis. Officer Urash Mal taught the scripture breakdown class and speaking, talking about Blacks and Latinos. We suffer from an identity crisis. We don't have our identity. Well, that comes from being in captivity. Everyone else here in America has their identity. They have their language. That's why the Lord said in Deuteronomy 32:7. You understand? He said, remember the days of old. Remember the past. That's why we have a history class in the UPK. That's why you must come in here to learn the past and the heritage of your people. You can't learn it anywhere else. You won't learn it in college. You go to a HBCU, they're going to tell you that Black people are Africans. Well, that's false. because all the Africans here in America know that you're not one of them. And they didn't come here to get you, to gather you, to join with you. They didn't come here to do anything for or with you, because they know that you're not an African. They don't even teach about the transatlantic slave trade anywhere in the continent of Africa. They don't teach anything about slavery. Not on the west coast of Africa, not on the east coast of Africa, not in Ethiopia, not in Senegal, not in Nigeria, not in South Africa, Angola, Kenya, Uganda, Somalia, Mali, Niger. They don't teach a damn thing about the transatlantic slave trade, because that has nothing to do with their people. They understand the years of many generations. You will never learn the years of many generations except you come into the ISUPK to be taught by the prophets of God, because your people don't know any history. That's because we're in captivity. The Lord said, remember the days of old and consider the years of many generations, not just your generation now. The only race of people on the planet that only consider what is happening right now are our people. Every other people is concerned about the past. Granddaddy, great granddaddy. When my father first did this, when my great grandfather first did that, and our ancient forefathers did this, and remembering what great so and so went through. But when you come to black people, they say, were you in slavery? Were you in the cotton field? Were you picking sugar cane? You were never in slavery. I was never in slavery. But guess what? The Jewish man alive today was not in the Holocaust, but he made sure you remember the Holocaust. You understand? The Chinese man today celebrates the Chinese New Year, even though he has businesses in real estate in the United States of America. They're going to celebrate the Chinese New Year in Nigeria, in Kenya, in France. Why? Because they consider the years of many generations. Don't ever let anyone shame you now that you learn your heritage as being an Israelite into not wanting to keep the customs of your forefathers, like the Passover, the Day of Atonement, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the memorial blowing of trumpets. You understand? Hanukkah, Purim. Don't ever let anyone tell you or try to make you think that you are supposed to take a part of another nation's culture. That is against your culture and your heritage. God did not even want you living amongst the other nations of people. You understand? The only reason we see another race of people is because we are in slavery. That's slavery. That's what God considers slavery. That's why when the Lord freed us from Egypt, he said, I'm giving you this land. The people that live there cannot live there with you. You cannot accept anything about their culture. You are not to join them in any way whatsoever. If you do, I'm going to punish you severely. And they are going to punish you as well. It's going to hurt you. Nowadays, our people don't believe that it's going to hurt you. Our people believe that being multicultural is the way to go. Joining everybody together is the way to go. All nations come together. We are all unique in our special own way. God loves everybody. We are one human family. Nobody actually believes that. Nobody believes that, because God didn't make life to be that way. This is why the Lord said, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father. Your father is supposed to be able to tell you these things. That's also a part of being in captivity. It says, ask thy father. How many blacks and Latinos can ask your father anything? Most of our people don't even know who their father is. Never met their father. Mother can't tell you about their father. Like, that's a part of being in captivity. That's being in captivity. To have a nation of people, the whole identity that you have comes from your father. We are Israelites because of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because of the lives that our forefathers lived, they lived life in such a way that it created an identity for us thousands of years later, even though our people had our identity taken away. They lived in such a way that the God of our forefathers made a covenant with them that passed down to us, that he honors to this day because of the way that our forefathers lived. You understand? That's how important your father is. In captivity, they don't teach you about the importance of fathers, of fatherhood. Your identity comes from your father. A slave's identity is attached to mommy and grandma. You understand? That's why if you ask most black people, what are your nationality? What is your identity? The first thing everyone is going to start to mention is their mother. Well, my grandma was this. My grandma was that. Because in a slave's mind, in someone in captivity's mind, an oppressor does not want you connected to your father, does not want you connected to your heritage, does not want you connected to your ancestry, your roots. That comes from who your father is. That's why they teach our people who are the descendants of slaves, who blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the descendants of slaves. You understand? They teach your identity to be tied apart from your father. That's why they teach you you're mixed. Anybody ever heard the term mixed before? Anybody ever heard of being mixed before? Or mestizo, or Creole, or mulatto. Anybody ever heard of mixed before? Y'all heard that term before? Oh, he's mixed. She's mixed. Anybody ever heard that before? All right, one person. The water. Somebody's heard mixed before. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. I remember it. All right. Sure. I'll give y'all a few moments to answer. All right. Anybody ever heard of that? Your seed, your seed. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Exodus 32. All right. So yeah, Most High Christ. Everybody's heard of mixed. All right. You heard of mixed. Why did they say somebody was mixed? What would they say that for? Like if somebody said, oh, she's mixed, he's mixed. Why would they say that? What reason would they give for them saying that somebody is mixed? Why would they say that? They would just say that out the blue. Why would they say that? What reason would anyone have to say, oh, she's mixed, he's mixed, or that baby is mixed, or this reason, that reason? Why would they say that? Why? Why would they say that, Shakal? Why would they say that, Anan, Yagadar, Tawabaf? Why would they say that, Raya? Okay, one parent is not black. All right, that's one of the reasons one parent is not black. What if I'm Mexican? What if all of my family is Mexican? Or all of my family is Puerto Rican? They're not considered to be black. Or Native American. They're not considered to be black. You understand? Give me some more. All right, let's get some answers. All right, is it just me or does it look extra small for some reason? Let's see if I can make this bigger. Let's see if I make it bigger. Okay, hold on. Bear with me just a second. Y'all did something to make it zoom. Bear with me just a second. Percents. I can edit name, edit audio, exit solo layout. There were just a moment. That's not work. All right. So that's good. We got some answers now. All right, good. Why do they say that? They would say skin, hair, complexion, interracial marriage. All right. Complexion, your skin color, mixed mixed race parents. Okay. Why would they say that you're mixed? To include another race with them. All right. Some good answers. So we'll be okay with that other race. All right. So you wouldn't know your lineage. There we go. That's good. That's good. Because that's what America pushes instead of saying what you are, what your father is. All right. Damn right on now. All right. Parents of different races. They would say your parents are different races. You're mixed. Features. All right. Features. Like what features? Give me some more. What features? What features? Give me some more. These are some good answers. What features? Your complexion. Your complexion. You can't be black because of your features, because of your skin. There we go, because of your hair. You don't have black people hair. You can't be black. You don't have black people hair. You don't have black people features. Give me some features. How they say you mix. Give me some features. Your hair. You don't have black people hair. You can't be black. Look at your hair. Textures of the hair. There you go. Hair. With your hair. Straight hair and colored eyes. Look at your eyes. Got them damn eyes. You can't be one of us with them eyes. Look at that hair. There we go. There we go. Eye color, lips, your nose, your lips, your nose, your eye color. What is your eyes doing being a different color? What are your eyes doing being a? I tell you what. When you see when you see what you got, wavy hair, your lips. Well, you don't have regular black people lips. You must not be black. Wavy hair, your lips. You understand? Let me ask you a question. Your eyes, you're more slanted than regular black people. Why your eyes is more slanted? Right. Straight hair, color, eyes, your skin color. All right, all right. What is the official hair of being black? What is the official hair of being black? If you don't have this hair, I guess you out. You do. What's the official color of being black? What's the official color? What's the woolly hair? That's the official hair texture, right? You gotta have wool. You gotta have an afro. Suppose your afro lays down. Suppose your afro ain't out here. Suppose it lay down. Suppose your afro curled up. You out of here. You out of here. Sister Shakar said, nappy. It doesn't curl up when water hit it. Well, damn. You ain't allowed to have no decent hair. Your hair got to be trash. That's the official colored hair. You got to have an afro. It can't have no curl to it. It can't have no curl. It can't have no twist and no kink in it. 4C. You wrong, sister. Well, yeah. Well, these things come from nappy, 4C, afro. It's got to be rough. It can't be good. It's got to be waterproof. It can't have no bounce to it. It can't have no twist, no curl to it. You understand? You got to have naps to it. You understand? Where did we learn this from? Where does this come from? Where does that come from? Where does it come from? It is Israelite customs to have locks, to have braids, plaits, twists, cornrows. It's Israelite custom. If you braid, plait, twist, or cornrow your hair, when you take those braids, plaits, twists, or cornrows out, your hair is going to be twisted. It's going to be curly. Nowhere in the Bible did it say all 12 tribes had the same skin color, had the same hair texture, had the same lip thickness. I guess you sister, you brother, sister got thin lips. Y'all out of here. You ain't all the way black. I guess you got some yellow, you got some gold in your skin, sis. You ain't one of us. Not with that yellow skin, not with that gold skin. You not as quite as brown as the rest of us. You got a little, you brown, but you ain't quite brown enough. You ain't this color on this side of my hand. You this color on the other side of my head. Well, damn, you out the nation now, sis. You not one of us no more, brother. You understand? That garbage comes from slavery. And I'm going to show you in the Bible. The Lord said, consider the years of many generations. Ask your fathers and they will tell thee. He will show thee. Your father's supposed to tell you this. We've had generations of learning absolute slavery and foolishness. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. The older brothers and sisters are supposed to tell us. Well, they got rid of those that kept the records in the history, and they weren't allowed to speak about it. They bred and beat and burned and tortured generations worth of history out of our people. That's why it's so important to keep records. That's why the Bible is so important, because it contains our history for present, past, and future. The Lord gave these records to us that are spiritual, and the world and life happens in cycles. There's no new thing under the sun. That's why he said, ask your fathers and they will tell thee. Most of our people grow up without their fathers, grow up with just their mothers. But guess what? The records of what your father was supposed to teach you, whether you never met your father or not, those records are spiritually connected to you still and contained in the Bible. That's why the widow, the infant, and the fatherless are supposed to come into the house of the Lord, are supposed to be directly under the watch and the tutelage of the priest and the prophets of the Lord. That's always been that way throughout the Bible. You understand? The records and heritage of who you are is contained in this Bible, whether you never met your father or not. You understand? Here's the scripture, Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 9. This is what the Lord said. Just so that you know, you having a different skin color, but you light-skinned brothers and sisters, dark-skinned brothers and sisters, very, very light, it might be yellow or brown or different shades of gold, or you may be able to pass for a so-called oppressor. You are only the seed of your father. It does not matter, and it never mattered who your mother was in terms of your identity, in terms of your nationality. There's no such thing as a mixed person, because you are only what your father is. Your father carries a seed. That seed carries the nationality. It reproduces the people on the earth. You are a product of your father, who's a product of your forefathers, who's a product of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why you are an Israelite. It doesn't have anything to do with your mother. It doesn't have anything to do with the way you look, your skin color, how thick or thin your nose are, how wide or thin your lips are, if you got straight hair, curly hair, colored hair, red, brown, black hair, if your skin is very bright, very dark, very brown. None of those things mean who you are. That's not your identity. If you take an apple seed and plant that apple seed in China, and you take that same apple seed and then plant it in Jamaica, and you take that same apple seed and then you plant it in France, you will only get an apple. You'll get an apple in France, you'll get an apple in Jamaica, you'll get an apple in China. You won't get a strawberry apple, you won't get a mango apple, you'll only get an apple. Seeds determine what fruit gets produced. No matter where it is, no matter where it's located, no matter what color it is, it's the same fruit, because of what your father is. That's what a seed is. Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 9. The Lord said, mine heritage. Who is the Lord's heritage? Israel is unto me as a speckled bird. Why does it say as a speckled bird? Because a speckled bird is a bird that comes with different colors on it. It's still the same bird, even though it comes in different colors. Just like if you have a car. If I name me some cars, name me a very popular car brand. Y'all just give me one. Just name me a very popular car. Just real quick. Name me a popular car. What's a popular automobile? Popular vehicle. You understand? Let's say a Toyota. Give me a make and model of a Toyota. The vehicle, not the company, the vehicle. Honda. Okay, the sisters, you giving me sisters' answers. The water. Okay. A Mercedes Benz. Okay, sisters. All right. Mercedes Benz. All right. Mercedes makes a lot more than Benz. Benz are very popular. There we go. A Toyota Venza. All right. All right. All right. The water. The water. All right. We'll go with Mercedes Benz. It stands out. It's got a name. Everybody can recognize it if they see it. Y'all trying. Damn right, sisters. The water. The water, sisters. Most High in Christ. All right. A Nissan Altima. There you go. The official vehicle of Uber. The Nissan Altima. The Uber mobile. The Lyft mobile. The Dodge Charger. Okay. The military mobile. Get your very high car note. Get it repossessed before you can pay it off. There you go. Nissan Altima, Dodge Charger. All right, sis. You gave me another sister answer. All right. Both sides Christ. The water for everybody who answered. The water. We'll go with Benz. Mercedes Benz. If I get a Mercedes Benz and Sister Amadah gets a Benz and Shakals gets a Benz and Tawabaf gets a Mercedes Benz, I have a red one. This sister gets a blue one. This sister gets a gray one. That sister gets a black one. It's still the same car. Because it's a different color, that doesn't make it a different car. Because you get different rims on yours than I have on mine, it's still the same car. Because the interior of the car that I got is all black on black. You might have a white cream leather. Somebody else might have a tan cream leather interior. Well, I got heated seats in mine. You got AC seats in yours. That does not make it a different vehicle because the features may look different. The exterior may look different. It's the exact same vehicle. What our oppressor did was he worked to make us separate. He worked to make us different, to instill differences in us. The oppressor does that. There's no different life between being Black, Latino, and Native Americans. Esau's news media, you understand, their propaganda that they put out, that makes it seems like there's a difference between being Blacks, Latino, and Native American, when really there is no difference between us. The language barrier that we have comes from slavery. Our brothers speak French, our brothers speak Spanish, our brothers speak Portuguese, we speak in English. That's because of slavery. Without being in oppression, all Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we would speak the Lashawan Kodash. We would speak our own language. Some of us eating different things. They eat guinea pigs here. Some might eat snakes here. They eat ducks here. They eat pork here. We've inherited a diet that is not our diet and our custom because we've been in slavery. And we created a slavery survival diet that was never our diet. That was an inheritance passed down from our forefathers that the Lord gave us. That's why the Lord said, consider the years of many generations, ask thy fathers and they will tell thee. We can't ask our fathers now because our fathers have been in captivity for many years. Now you have to go to the men of the Lord. You understand? So Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 9, the Lord said, my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. We've been a speckled bird unto the Lord for quite some time. Our 12 tribes, we've had different You understand? We've always been different shades. We've always had different colors, different features, different this, different that. You understand? That does not make you another nation of people. We were 12 families, 12 separate families from 12 men that married sisters and made children. We didn't all look exactly alike. We didn't all have exactly the same hair texture, exactly the same skin color. All of those things and the idea that we did came from slavery. It came from our oppressors. The Lord said we were always different shades, different colors. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about her, meaning the other birds, equating people to birds, the other birds that are about her, meaning around us, are against her, meaning the other birds are against us. Come, ye assemble, all the beasts of the field come to devour. All the other birds about us, they are here to devour us. Hey, shalom, brother, Shibshibrakatah. They are here to devour us. That's their purpose. That's the reason that the other nations of people are around us. Now let's get some more. We're going to go back to Deuteronomy chapter 32, when the Lord said, all right, the Lord said, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations, ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. Suppose you don't have a father. Suppose you can't ask your father because you don't know him. You never met him. He's in jail. He's in prison. You don't have access to him. You don't have an opportunity to get to talk to him and speak to them. Well, that is the majority of our nation. That's the majority of our nation. So who do you ask? If you can't ask your father, who do you ask? You come and you ask the men of the Lord. You ask the priest of the Lord. That's why the Lord said that the priest of the Lord would be a father to the fatherless. You understand? You don't go without lacking anything just because you don't have your father with you. You be a father to the fatherless. You come in here. You'll get all the wisdom, all the counseling, all the teaching, all the strengthening, all the upbringing that the brotherhood that the Lord has prepared and the sisterhood that the Lord has prepared for you. You come in here. Come in here and you'll get it all. All the direction, all the counseling, all the headship and watching over you that you did not have or cannot have or would not have had you grown up in the world without a father, which most of our people are. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and 3, 32 and 8, it says, when the Most High divided to the nations, there's that dividing. God always meant for every race of people to be separate. Their inheritance. Each people has their own land that is their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam, that's at the beginning of the Bible, the sons of Adam were known as the sons of God. God separated the sons of Adam because he did not want the other people who were not Adam's children to be gathered together with the sons of Adam, because Adam's sons were special and the other people were not. He set the bounds. He set a boundary of the people, meaning he put everyone where they were supposed to be, and then he set a border, a boundary, according to the number of the children of Israel. He put everyone else in its own place after he placed the children of Israel in the best possible place that he could, because that was his primary concern. The children of Israel. For the Lord's portion, God's people, his portion is his people. Not all people, his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. We come from Jacob. Our forefather, his name was changed to Israel. You understand? All right. So now, how do we know we're in captivity? Let's go to Deuteronomy. You understand? Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's find out how the Lord said that we would know How do we know we're in captivity? What did the Lord say would happen? Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. See if I can make it bigger for you. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. All right, Shem Shabbat. Shema Gabal, Shem Shabbat. All right, in there. Deuteronomy, let's scroll down. Deuteronomy 7 and 1. The Lord is giving instructions again. It says, when the Most High thy power shall bring thee into the land, whither ye go to possess it. Where we go into a land, who can tell me what they see repeated in the scriptures? The one we read before, the one we read it now, the Lord says he's given us instructions about where we go when we get to that land, wherever we're going. Who I want to know who is able to see the instructions that the Lord is saying there. There's a key word that's in this scripture that was in the other scripture that I want to see if anybody picked up on. All right. I want to see if anybody picked up on this. It's a very important word that's in there. Very important. Before we get to these next set of precepts that I want to pull, these next set of scriptures, I want to see who can tell what it is. The title of the class is, what does God consider slavery? And are blacks and Latinos free? It's a very important word in this scripture. There we go. That's it right there. Possess the land. Possess the land. You understand? Everywhere we go, the Lord told us that we were supposed to possess the land. We're supposed to own the land. Everything on that land was supposed to belong to us. Do we possess land now? Do we possess the land that we live in now? Do our people possess the land? You may own your individual home or land, but do our people own the land? Where do we live? Do we live in Richmond? We live in Norfolk? We live in Suffolk? We live in Chesapeake? We live in Atlanta? We live in Pittsburgh? We live in Philly? We live in Baltimore? But do we own Baltimore? Do we own Philly? Do we own Fayetteville? Do we own Atlanta? Do we own Memphis? Do we own Washington, D.C.? We live there, but do we own it? Free people own stuff. You understand? That's what the Lord said. The Lord said wherever we went, we were supposed to possess it. We were supposed to possess it. Let's see who else got. Hold on, I got two of these screens. Possess. La, we don't own it. We don't own it. Well, everywhere that we go, we are supposed to own it. So if we don't own it, somebody else owns it. We aren't supposed to live somewhere that some other people owns. If another people owns it and we live there, that means we're in captivity. You're not supposed to pay for a place to live. Your father's father had land. And you live on that land because that's where your father lived. That's where his father lived. That's where his father lived. This land belongs to our people. Our people are not supposed to have to pay someone for a place to live. That's slavery. You pay rent, you pay mortgage, you're in slavery. We were never supposed to pay someone for a place to live. That's slavery. That's what God calls slavery. The Lord said, Deuteronomy 7 and 1, when the Most High thy power shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, where you go to own it. The purpose for us going into a land was to own the land and cast out many nations before thee. The other nations of people that are there are supposed to be evicted. They cannot live among us. They're not supposed to live among us. Their gods are not welcome. Their customs are not welcome. They're not supposed to be accepted. Now, of course, we are here in captivity. You can't put another nation of people out of a land that you don't own. You can't kick someone out of a community that you don't own. In order to be free, you have to own the land. You have to own the city. You have to own everything that's there. If your people don't own it, then you are paying for it from another people, which is captivity. That's slavery according to God. So when Christians ask you, you weren't in slavery, you were never in slavery, you're in slavery right now, according to God. The Lord said the other nations be cast out before you, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. 7 nations. These are 7 full races of people. Greater. It's more of them. They got rank. They got reputation. They got governments. They got power. They got ability. They got land. They're established. You are not. You're just coming out of slavery. You're just forming yourselves to be a nation. 7 nations that are greater and mightier. They're stronger than you, but they can't live among you. They can't stay there. They already live there, but they can't stay there. They can't join you. You can't. The Lord is going to give very specific instructions. Why? Why did the Lord give these instructions? We're going to learn about this because this is what it takes to be free. This is what it means to be free. And you must put this into your spirit to understand how and what the Lord calls freedom so that you can see your way out of captivity, so that you can spiritually have your mind in the proper mindset when the Lord destroys the land of our captivity, which is happening all the way around you every day. Deuteronomy 7:2, it says, and when the Most High thy power, meaning the Lord, the God of this Bible is your power. God means Elohim, or power. The Most High, your power. Meaning this God is to strengthen you. This is not the God for all people. This isn't the God to make the Arabs and the Africans and the East Indians strong if they all come and believe in the Bible. This God is not making the oppressor strong because he picks up a Bible and says, Jesus died for me, and when I go to heaven, God is going to love me and I'm one of God's children. Nothing about this Bible is to make anybody else strong. It is to make them weak. It is to make us strong. The idea that you as a people share a God with a different race of people, that is slavery. That's captivity. Because no other race of people is going to fight to make you equal to them in their own God service. The Arabs are not fighting to make you equal Muslims with them. The Quran is written in Arabic, their language. The prophet is of their people is one of them. It's not one of us. It's not a white man. It's not an Asian. It's not an East Indian. They have one of their people. Just like the Asians, they have one of their people. The image that everyone sees as Buddha is one of Buddha's most devout followers. The fat image of the little guy, that's not actually Buddha. That's one of Buddha's devout, loyal followers, just like Chicago Bulls or the LA Lakers, the Lakers. LeBron James is the mascot of the Lakers. I mean, he's the face of the Lakers, but he's not actually the LA Lakers. Michael Jordan was the face of the Chicago Bulls, but he's not actually the Chicago Bull. You understand? He's the face. He's who you closely associate this thing with this man. You understand? So let's get some more. And with just a moment. All right. Let's get some more. The Lord said, and when thou shalt deliver, and when the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them. They didn't do anything to you. They didn't do anything to you. They didn't harm you. They probably don't even know you. Is God wrong? Is God evil? Is people already living here? They already live here in this land. All right, Instagram, y'all tune in on the other channel. We go into the other channel here. All right. Tune into the other ISUPK Virginia channel. All right. There's people already living here in this land. Bear with me just a moment. But why is the Lord going to say this? What? Bear with me just a moment. Slavery. Bear with me just a moment. Bear with me just a moment. All right. Like these other nations, the Lord said, smite them. When you see one, the Lord said, smite them and utterly destroy them. Why did the Lord say this? Is God wrong? Why would the Lord say this? Is God evil? Why would he say this? These people living in this land, they already settled. They done made a society. They got their family and their kids here. They got all these things going on. Why would God say this? Come on, y'all. What is on God's mind? Why would he say this? To get them out of the land. Well, why didn't he just ask them to move? It said to keep them separate. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Athashim, Yahweh Shem Shebrakatham, Yahweh Shemal Athashim, Yahweh Shah. Talking about what does God consider slavery? What does he consider slavery now? Blacks and Latinos free. Why did the Lord say this? To get them out of the land, to keep us separate. The Lord couldn't put them out of the land? You telling me the Lord needed us to put them out of the land? Well, let's see. The Lord needed us to evict them. He wanted us to put them out. All right, let's see. All right. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Was. Just a moment. Why would the Lord even say that? Be. Right. Let's see. Give y'all some time to answer. to keep us separate. All right. Sister said, all right. Sister said he's a God of war. All right. He's not just going to declare war on people for no reason. So it wouldn't be none of them left in the land. Okay. So none of them would be left in the land. Well, why don't they couldn't live there? They couldn't live among you. We live today. It's not so bad, is it? We're not separated right now. Is it bad? Let's get some more. The Lord did this before. Why did he say that? Come on, y'all. Where y'all at? Y'all ain't thinking? Y'all tired of, y'all ran out of answers? The Lord, he needed us to drive them out. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 20. It says he could have just did this. He said, moreover, the Lord, the Most High, thy power, will send a hornet among them until they that are left and hid themselves from thee be destroyed. The Lord could have just sent the hornets through. The hornets would have stung everybody, made everybody run. Y'all know about them African killer bees, those killer bees of Africa. They got the tsetse fly. They got a fly in Africa that kills millions of cows every year. That's why can't nothing grow in Central Africa. Nothing but wild animals. The damn tsetse fly kill everything. Most of the continent. This fly bites you, your life is over. You're a bull, you're a cow, nothing. You better have pounds and pounds of fat and hide and leather skin covering your tail, or you're gonna be unalive by this fly. Why? The sister said, because they was on our land. They were on our land. That's right. Just get gutter with it. They was on our land. Got to go. To break the mental bonds of captivity, to teach us how to be free. You more on it. Because the land was for us to possess. We were supposed to own it. Yes. There we go. Because they don't obey the law of the Most High. Well, the Lord didn't. That's a good guess, sister. But the Lord did not give them any laws to obey. Now we get into it. To teach us warfare. The Lord wanted us to do his will. There y'all go. Y'all getting on it. See, the Lord wanted to teach us warfare. A lot of the things that our people do, the spirit of our people has not changed. The problem is we have a spirit on our people that does not have direction. And because of this, we don't know what to do with the spirit. We don't know what to do with the spirit that we have that's already in us as a people. So as a result, without having the spirit of the Lord and being led by the men that God set up to rule our cities, someone with a warrior spirit has to go and join the Marines. They have to go and unalive for America, which is against God. They have to go and fall under the wing of a criminal who will send them across the world to unalive the Iraqis and the Afghans to fight with the mark of the beast in their hand and on their head to defend democracy in America. They have to go and join the Bloods and the Crips and the Gangster Disciples and MS-13 and the Latin Kings. They have to go and join a criminal organization that is going to teach them what they think is how to be a man of war, how to be devoted to the cause, how to stand for a nation, who to fight, how to go to war and battle against an enemy, how to represent against an enemy. They have to find someone to teach them because spiritually, our people are a warlike and a militant people. That's why so much work has been done to weaken our people. You understand? To effeminize our brothers, to make them softer and docile, to put the woman over them. The whole women's rights movement, women liberation movement, feminist movement, Planned Parenthood movement, the getting black people government rights and all of those things, that was to destroy the black man, the Latino, the Native American man. The purpose of that was to destroy the strength of the nation. Women's empowerment was to destroy man's empowerment. That was the purpose. It seemed like bringing everyone together in America. But in America, every other nation of people still keeps and maintains their culture. The only people that don't are our people, because we think we're supposed to join another nation of people. This spirit is why the Lord said, when you get into this land, kick them out and destroy them. Because the idea and given the opportunity, without the proper instruction, our people would make friends with the enemies who would destroy us, which is what we've done now, which is why we're in captivity. The Lord said in Deuteronomy 7:2, and the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee. Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, no friendship with them, nor show them mercy. Show mercy unto them. Now, why would God say this? Why would God say something that sounds so evil? It sounds so cruel, so wrong, so unnecessary. Why did the Lord say this? Because the Lord understood, yes, the Lord wanted to teach us warfare. And it's an important lesson to learn that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans do not understand warfare. That's why we're fighting each other. You understand? All right, you missed the topic. No sweat. So the topic is God. I just switched from the other channel. So the first half of the class was on the other channel. Now I'm doing the second half of the class on this channel. So the topic is, what does God consider slavery? And are Blacks and Latinos free? What does God consider slavery? Are so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans free? So what we're doing is we're going through what God considers to be in captivity. One of the things where we're reading now in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, you understand, is that the Lord told us when we went into our land that there were people already living there. And the Lord said, don't make friends with them. Don't respect their culture. Don't respect their God. Don't try to be friends with them. Don't work out a deal. Don't have any mercy on them. When you get into this neighborhood, when you get into this territory, step on everybody. Slide on everybody. Crush everybody. Now, in some people's brain, this is wrong. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this to a people. That's not right. Here is what our people don't know with that Christian spirit. The reason why the young brothers in your city are shooting each other and warring with each other is because God put a spirit in them to need to go to war against somebody and not have mercy on them, not care about their feelings, not care about how it's going to make their mothers cry, not care about who's going to lose their father, not care about how this is going to affect the family, your little brother, my little brother. The same videos that you see all the young brothers in Chicago and all the brothers in any city, anywhere, Detroit, they hear all of these dissing the homies, all of these things there. That's in the Bible. Psalms, the 83rd chapter, King David is dissing all the people that the Lord killed. Make them as dumb as Zamunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Lord in possession, persecute them, make them afraid, crush them, destroy them. Remember how your man got smoked? Remember how the Lord wiped out Zabah and Zamunah? Remember how they thought they would, remember what happened to Goliath? That's Israelite customs. Without the spirit of the Lord, your son, niece, and nephew will diss other brothers. They're going to diss other black men in Chicago who they killed. They're going to diss other brothers in Norfolk who they get in a shootout with. They're going to diss other brothers in Richmond. The brothers on the west side are going to fight the brothers on the east side. The brothers on this side of the street are going to hate the brothers on that side of the street. This high school is going to fight that high school. The light-skinned brothers will be against the light-skinned, the dark-skinned sisters. And the dark-skinned this and the light-skinned that. And the straight hair will versus the curly hair. And the red will be against the blue. And the purple will be against the brown. And before you know it, you'll have a nation of people where everyone is at each other's throat, because there is someone's throat who the Lord wants you to focus on. There's somebody the Lord made you to hate. There's someone. The Lord put us in the middle of enemies on all sides. And if your son doesn't know and doesn't have the Spirit of the Lord to know that everyone who is not Black, Latino, and Native American is his enemy, he will grow up and find an enemy in his brother. If your daughter does not know that the other women who are not Black, Latino, and Native American are their enemy, she's going to grow up and fight other Black girls. She's going to grow up and hate other Black women. She's going to grow up and fight other Latino women, fight other Native American women. If you don't have an enemy, you will find one. That's real life. While Christians teach you all of this love, 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 God loves, everything is about love. While Christians teach you that, guess what the same Christians are doing? They're kicking Black men out of those houses for not having good jobs. They're taking a man's kids away and holding them for ransom for child support. He don't get that love. They're going to leave a man because they found out that he has another woman. That family don't mean nothing. Those kids mean nothing to you. You are the only thing that's important, and you are willing to destroy your family, your husband, that family, those kids, your kids, and statistically put your children in the worst possible position by having them be raised by mommy alone, because you don't know you in a war. You don't know you in a war. You don't know you got enemies to fight. You grow up thinking everything is smooth. You don't know somebody is hunting you. That's why you get pulled over at the traffic stop. You wonder why they would snatch you out the car. I got my license and registration. I got my permit. Why are you doing this, officer? Hey, bro, calm down. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. You don't know you in war. You don't know that these other nations that God said for you to get rid of out of your land, if they had the opportunity, the Arabs would round you up and put you in cargo slave ships. They would cut the testicles off your young son and make him babysit the harems where their mothers and aunts and brothers and sisters are being sex trafficked in their brothels, unless you get to the land and wipe them all out. See, the Lord is much smarter than we are. And how you feel cannot dictate to you what God says is right or wrong. We've been taught that how we feel is equating to what God says. Now, mind you, we're not telling anyone to go be violent in 2024. We are not telling anyone to attack anybody of another nation. We're not telling anyone to be rude or heinous or criminal or disrespectful to anyone for any reason whatsoever. What we are saying is this is the proper spirit of God that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans need to have. Otherwise, you will follow your enemy's plan and fight each other and abort each other and divorce each other and pour each other out and shoot at each other and destroy one another. You must have an enemy. If you are not being trained on how to deal with your enemy, you will make your people your enemy. And this is why the Lord said that the children of Israel must learn warfare. That's why he didn't send the locusts and the frogs and the bees and fire and the wind and the hurricane to put them out. He said, I want you to put them out so that you understand this is what it takes to be free. The United States military is all over the world. They have an army, they have a navy, they have an air force, they got a space force, they got marines, they got satellites in space, they got submarines with nuclear missiles circling all over the world. They got aircraft carriers that can launch and fly for thousands of miles and go and destroy something and come back in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the ocean or in the sea somewhere, because that is what it takes for them to maintain freedom. You can't get freedom without an army. You can't have peace without being prepared to go to war. It doesn't come with songs. It doesn't come by crying. It doesn't come by marching. It doesn't come by begging. It doesn't come by prayer. It doesn't come by integration. It doesn't come by joining your enemy. It doesn't come by letting them beat you. It doesn't come by taking their God. It comes with warfare. That is how you get free. There's no other way. When Christ returns, Christ is coming with 200 million of the armies that are in heaven, because you can't have salvation if there's no army coming to free you, because we are in captivity. That's why the Lord said that. And it's a very important lesson. So when the Lord says in Deuteronomy 7:2, and when the Most High our power shall deliver them, destroy them, make no covenant with them, the Lord wants you to put in your spirit that they are not your people. How does the Lord want you to feel about them? What does the Lord want you to think about them? How does the Lord want you to feel? How does the Lord want you to set your spirit the proper way to obey God at that time there? Not now, of course. We're not saying we don't advocate violence. We're not doing any violence to anyone, but we will defend ourselves. Don't find out and get defended on. Don't put yourself in that situation. All right? How does the Lord want you to feel about that? Does he want you to think everybody's equal? Want you to feel the warm love of Jesus, that the gospel is for all people, and Jesus loves all, and hugs and kisses and puppies, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white, and we all at the table of brotherhood together? How does the Lord want you to feel about these other nations of people? Come on, y'all, hurry up. We run out of time in this class. Come on, y'all. What does the Lord want us to feel? How does he want us to feel? Come on. Am I live? Where's everybody? My honor roll students, Sister Rod, Most High in Christ. The Lord wants us to feel above. There's a little bit more than that, but that's right. Above them. The Lord wants us to feel like we above them. That they are nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. The Lord does not want us to regard them. I think you might have misunderstood the question, sister. You might have misunderstood the question. The question that I'm saying, Sister Shelley, is how does the Lord want us to, based on these scriptures that we're reading right now, how does the Lord want us to feel about these other nations of people? So it wouldn't be happy. You understand? It wouldn't be happy. Like the Lord does not want us to, the Lord want us to look at these other nations of people. Imagine, let's say, I'll use this example. All right. Let's say you went into your kitchen. You go into your refrigerator, you want to get your drink, you want to get your food, you're ready to eat, you're hungry, you want to make a sandwich. Somebody that made some delicious food or something like that. You understand? Not happy with them. There you go, sister. You better on you more on it. Not happy with them. The Lord doesn't want us to be happy with them. Guess what happens when these other nations of people see you coming in their neighborhood? I'm going to teach you something very important about life that the Lord was trying to teach us once we got out of captivity. That they are an abomination. There you go. Not happy with them. We should be happy to see them. Not in captivity. We are superior. Let's say you go in your kitchen. And you go in your kitchen and you understand, you want to get your food. You want to get your drink. You're thirsty. You're hungry. You know it's supposed to be your food, your drink is in your kitchen. And you get in your kitchen and you see some mice in your kitchen. You see some roaches in your kitchen. You see some flies in your kitchen. How would you feel? How would you feel? You were like, oh, these beautiful mice in here. Look at these wonderful roaches in here. You understand? Come on, y'all. I'm gonna type in there. How would you feel? You wouldn't welcome them. Like, oh, my food is so delicious. I know the roaches probably want some of this food. That's why they're here. Yeah, I know this food is so delicious. These mice in my house, these mice probably want some of that food. That's why they're here. Disturbed. I'm out. Sister said, not happy. Not happy. Says, I must unalive them. Yeah, they got to go. You understand? Not stressed out. They gotta go. Well, guess what? When you start to move into the oppressor's neighborhood, that's how they feel. They're not happy. They stressed out. Said, I'm flipping some stuff over. There you go. They stressed out. They don't want you there. They don't want you there. They don't want to smell your mango shea butter spray. They don't want to smell your cocoa butter. They don't want your pit bulls running all over, your dogs all out with no damn leash. They don't want your loud music with all the bass, all your trumpets, all your cookouts on the lawn. They don't want your nephews and your cousins showing up, all the damn cars, these big rims, the loud damn exhaust. They don't want you here with all your damn kids. They want 1.5 kid and a dog. They don't want you showing up with all your kids. Then your nephews stay with you. Then you get custody of your sister's kids. They don't want y'all there. They don't want you. They want their nice car, no oil leaking, no hoopties, no Cadillacs. They don't want Chevys and Tahoes everywhere and loud music and pit bulls and Rottweilers everywhere. They don't want that. They don't want Newport butts and Black and Mild stubs everywhere. They don't want Jordans in their neighborhood. They don't want basketball. You understand? Oh my God, what has happened to the neighborhood? Who are these people? All of this music, all of this beer, another goddamn cookout. Oh my goodness. Now they're in the parking lot arguing. Now they fight. It's kids outside fighting now. They're shooting in my neighborhood. They don't want your curses there. They don't want you bringing all your cars, all your working equipment, your carpet van, your pickup truck. They don't want all your nephews. They don't want Man and Jorge and Maria and Devontae and Keontae. They don't want everybody moving in the neighborhood. There goes one. Because guess what happened when you see that? You get in that neighborhood, you're going to start looking around. You're going to see how many black people live here. They got other black people. Okay, it's a brother over there. Okay, I see a pit bull. He ain't got no leash. All right, we might be good. Let me ride around, see what the neighborhood is like. Ride around it. Up. Is that some drill? I hear the bass. Okay, that's some Glorilla playing around here. Okay, we might be all right. Let's take a look at the house now. Who's the neighbor? Who over there? Up. I see Agatha. No, I don't want to live in no neighborhood with Agatha. Karen, Becky. No, it's unseasoned potato salad with raisins in it. Unwashed. No, no washcloths. Listening to that. I don't hear no music in this neighborhood at all. It's too quiet around here. What we got? Uh-oh. I see dreads. I see old Chevys. I see old Lexuses. I see niggas in the parking lot working on their car. Okay. We might be good. People outside working on their car. All right, all right. Okay, this might be our type of environment. They don't live like we live. They don't want you there. Unbeknownst to blacks and Latinos, this is how the other nations look at you. This is how they look at us. They know once you're there, the rest of your people show up. Just like if you leave one roach in your kitchen and you don't get rid of that roach, tomorrow there'll be 5 roaches. If you don't get rid of that mouse, tomorrow there'll be more mice. If you don't get that raccoon out your trash, tomorrow that raccoon will make a nest in your trash can. If you don't deal with that cat, soon that cat will have a litter of kittens underneath of your steps. Why? Because everything that God created is looking to survive. They're looking for survival. That's why God put all things in its proper place. Esau took the whale out of the ocean and put him in SeaWorld. You understand? They're going to tell their friends, hey, y'all, this me, Keontae. I got the keys to my first house. We in here. Here my dog. You understand? His short dog, big pit bull walking around, taking dumps everywhere. This is my other dog. Say hi. Got a black one and a brown one with the white spots. These my kids. This is my rib. Say hi, Kiara. Kiara all in the camera. Next thing you know, the music is on. A housewarming party. Baby showers. You understand? They got a house for sale over there. They getting out this neighborhood, man. They don't want this neighborhood to become your neighborhood. They don't want you to turn the neighborhood into Detroit, into Baltimore, into Richmond, into Norfolk. Why? Because every creature loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. You're not his neighbor. You're not one of them. They don't want you there. You understand? And the Lord, that's not a wrong spirit. The Lord doesn't want you to be comfortable there. That's why the Lord said, this is not your rest. You're not supposed to be comfortable here. They're just as uncomfortable when you walk into their restaurant. They're uncomfortable. They have to fight their natural uncomfortability. I'll give you an example. Black people do it all the time. Latinos do it all the time. I'll give you an example. When you go to work, you don't use your normal voice. They call it getting on code. They call it code switching. You wouldn't dare work. Most brothers and sisters, you would not go to work and use your full regular voice all day at your job. You wouldn't use your regular how you talk if they weren't paying you to talk like this voice. You know why? Because you know and they know that they hate your voice. They hate the way you talk. They hate to hear you talk. That's why you have to learn to speak professional. You got to use certain words that you wouldn't otherwise use. You got to speak a certain way that you wouldn't normally speak. You got to behave a certain way that you wouldn't normally behave. Do you know why? Because the way you would normally act and behave is not welcomed. Your normal way of talking is not welcome. The normal way that you would communicate if you were in a comfortable environment is not accepted here. They don't like it. You know who's comfortable speaking their normal way? Chinese woman at that carryout. She speaks normal. Where all the sisters go get their feet, their hair and their nails done. Get your toes and your nails done everywhere. Are they speaking to you the way that you speak to each other? They talking to you? Hey, how you doing, Maya? What's going on, girl? Hey, Maisha, what's going on? How you doing, Kiara? What's up? How little man doing? How little man doing? Everything going all right? Are you getting good grades in school, Kiara? Is that what they saying to you when you go get your nails done? When you go get your nails done, that's what they say to you in the nail salon. When the Chinese, the Asians, they doing your nails and your hands and your feet. Is that what they say? What do they say? How they in there talking to you? What they saying? Are they talking to you about your favorite show? Are they talking to you about the books that you read because they read the same books? Are they talking to you? Oh, you having a cookout at the crib? You know, me and Mr. Wong, we throwing some ribs on the grill too. You should come over, Kiara. Mr. Wong, they talking amongst themselves. You understand? I'm asking y'all sisters. Hell, I don't know. I ain't going to the damn nail salon. We standing outside the nail salon cussing cussing them out at camp. So I don't know. Y'all got to tell me. What do they say to y'all when y'all sisters go in there and have the Moabites do y'all nails and scrub on y'all feet? What do they say? Are they talking to y'all? Oh, look at your daughter. She's very beautiful. You're very beautiful. I like your afro. What are they saying to y'all? I don't know. What they say? My cousin own a shop. She have a wig just like your hair. What are they saying to y'all? Tell me. I don't know. Come on, sisters. Let me know. Is that what they saying to y'all? Only one sister in here? What they saying? They asking you how your week was. They ask you how your son doing in school. What they saying to y'all? They making small talk with y'all. Come on now. We ain't got all night, sisters. Come on now. What they saying? They asking you about your show. They asking you if you seen the movies that they seeing. You understand? You disqualified out now. Said me and my mom's Dale text talk to us like that. What you cooking tonight? Okay, they ask you what you cooking. Y'all got Moabites and y'all got sisters out there. The Moabite asks you what you cooking. She asks you for macaroni and cheese recipes. She said, you smell like cinnamon roll. You smell like breakfast. What did you make this morning? Miss Johnson. No, you can't answer, brother. I need people that's in the nail salon. They don't say anything, and I do the same. They don't say nothing. They just standing there with a whole stranger, scrubbing hands and scrubbing feet, and just painting and ain't saying a word. That's in there. That's wild. All right. Well, maybe Richmond dinner. Okay. Maybe y'all zones is different. Okay. Y'all zones is different. She asked, "What am I doing this weekend and how my grand?" Okay, they asked about your grandbaby. Now y'all got Moabites doing y'all actual hair. The Moabites say, "How's your grandbaby?" All right, y'all got some good Moabites down there. Then okay. Well, most Moabites, you walk past there, they're not talking to nobody. Now I walk past, I see them in the mall. They got the mask on and they doing hair and feet with both eyes closed. They don't say nothing to nobody. I don't hear nothing. Sisters in there listening to music, looking off in the stars, playing games on her phone. The Moabites ain't talk to nobody. So I don't know. She asked, "What you doing this weekend?" Okay. Nope. They be staring in their face. They don't say nothing. You walk in that carry out, they don't say nothing. They don't say nothing. You ready? I'm gonna go do something till you ready. You food? You want wings? How many wings? Let's save us both some time, nigga. How many wings do you want? Rice or fries? Steak and cheese? Steak and cheese? Steak and cheese and wings. All right, $20. Half and half, lemonade, iced tea, light on the ice, right? All right, $20. All right. You understand? They not comfortable with you there. They're not comfortable. You're not a part of their world. They're not comfortable with you there. They don't know how to talk to you. They don't know how to communicate with you. They don't know that their like is not your like. Their type of music is not your music. Their rhythm is not your rhythm. You understand? The Lord said he made all people to be separate. and he gave us his spirit, his culture. The Lord is sitting in heaven on a chair made of fire, with thunder and lightning above his head, with two horrifying beasts covered in eyes and gigantic wings going up and going down. And the chair is on fire, and the chair has got flaming, spinning wheels, and the chair is yelling, screaming, loud and loud and loud as possible. It is absolutely terrifying and horrifying. You understand? Their God is not like our God. So what the Lord is saying in Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3, the Lord is saying, thou shalt not make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto their son. The Lord is saying, don't do this. You're not supposed to join them. You're not one of them. You're going to ruin yourself and ruin your people. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto thy son, nor his Salakia. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. You're not supposed to be doing daughter swapping. The Lord said, don't do this. This makes the Lord angry. But they will turn away thy son from following me. That's how we ended up into democracy and into Buddhism and Rastafarianism and getting high and being gangsters, drug dealers and republicanism, being Democrats and Pan-Africanism. These are all the gods of the other nations of people that we joined, that they may serve other gods. That's what we're doing now as a people. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled, be burning hot against you and destroy thee suddenly. That's what the Lord said. He would be angry and he would destroy us. You understand? Why did the Lord say this? He said he would be angry and he would destroy us. Now, here is he said, for they will turn away thy son from following me to serve another God. That's how we became wrapped up into Islam, wrapped up into Christianity. We joined those people. We married into their families eventually. Now we are underneath of their gods. The Lord said, this is how you deal with them. Thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, their religious things that are sacred to them and a part of their community, a part of their religious belief, the worship of their gods. It says, and break down their images, cut down their groves, all their holy places, their shrines, their dedicated things and artifacts. You're supposed to destroy them all and burn their graven images, all their stonework and mason work, graven images with fire. The God of the Bible does not want you to be friends with them. He doesn't want us to join them. He doesn't want us to regard their holidays and their gods. This is why the Lord said this. For thou art a holy people. This is the reason why. Unto the Most High, thy power, thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord said he made us above all the other people, and he did not want us to join them. He didn't want us to join anybody. So what happens? How can we spot that we are in captivity? How do we know? Let's get some more. All right. Let's get some more. Lamentations, chapter 5, and verse 1. It says, remember, O Lord, what has come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. And we're being shamed for this. Our inheritance is turned to strangers. Our homeland is turned to strangers. The place that's our home, the Lebanese live in our home right now. The Palestinians live in our home. The Israeli man lives in our home. The Iraqis and the Afghans and the Iranians and Syrians and the Saudis, they live in our home right now. Egyptians, they live in our home. Well, the Greek babies that live in the land of Egypt that speak Arabic, that's who's living in our homeland right now. Because the real Egyptians is in South Africa somewhere. That's the Maasai tribe. Those are the real Egyptians. The people living in Egypt now are not the ancient Egyptians. You understand? Our inheritance belongs to a stranger. our houses to aliens, the homes that belong to us, an alien lives there. We are orphans and fatherless. We're being raised without fathers. That's the vast majority of our nation. Our mothers are widows. A woman is living her life single. That's a widow. A woman who does not have a husband. That's a widow. She's a mother, which means she is married. That's why it says that. Our mothers are as widows. As a widow, because this is a woman who has children and does not have a husband. She is as a widow. A widow, her husband is dead. He's gone. But a woman who is a mother that does not have a husband, she is living as a widow. That's why the primary concern that the Most High had was about the widow, the infant, the fatherless. Why? Because they don't have someone to fight and stand for them. You understand? That's why that's the Lord is very concerned. He said, our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. Our necks are under persecution. The only illegal immigrant or the migrant crisis that they're talking about, even though they say migrants have come from over 125 countries and poured into the border all across America. The migrants that they are talking about is only the tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitian, the tribe of Asher, the so-called Venezuelans, the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, the bad hombres from Central America, the so-called the tribe of Zebulon, brothers from El Salvador and Honduras and Guatemala, Nicaragua, you understand? That's the migrant problem that they're talking about. They're not talking about none of the other nations of people, the Arabs, the Africans, all the different Europeans, all the Asians coming in. They're only talking about us. Our necks are constantly under persecution. You understand? He said, we have drunken our water for money. Does anybody, you pay a water bill? That's slavery. God makes water fall from the sky. The planet is primarily covered in water. Most of the planet is covered in water. If you go to outer space, most of what you see is water. If you look at a globe, most of what you see is water. If you look at an atlas or a map, most of what you see is water. It's very little land compared to how much water there is on the planet. Nobody should be paying for water. The fact that we're paying for water is because we're in captivity. We drunk our water for money. Our wood is sold to us. Where does wood come from? Wood comes from a tree. The planet is covered in trees. You have to own the land. That's how you don't pay for water if you own the land. On the land grows what? Trees. You cut trees down and make houses, make homes, make buildings. You make bricks. How do you make bricks? With clay, with mud. You bake it out in the sun. You turn it into a brick. You make it a mold. That's how you build your houses. That's how you build your structures, your buildings, your towns, your cities, your roads, your bridges. Well, we pay for wood and water, but the planet is covered in wood and water. Why are we paying? Because we are in captivity. If you don't have your own water supply, God says we are in slavery because we don't have our own water supply. If we were free, we wouldn't have to pay for water. We wouldn't have to pay for wood. It says our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. That's why you work in two jobs. Who here works two jobs? Who slaves two jobs? Anybody in here got two slaveries, got two jobs? Who works two jobs? Everybody show of hands. Everybody working one job, not in slavery, right? Just give me a one. Give me a one if you work two jobs. You work two slaveries, let me know. Just give me a one. You understand? Who work two slaveries? Give me a one. Says we labor and have no rest. You're getting some rest on the train on your way to another job. You understand? It says we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread, meaning we are giving another nation of people bread. The Assyrians, we give another nation of people bread. They're supposed to serve us. We are the children of the Most High God that created the heaven and earth, but we feed someone else. We feed them, we give it to them. If they want a burger, they come into a restaurant and we're giving them their burger. We're giving them their food. We're making their tacos. We're cooking their rice. We're handing them their chipotle. That's us. We're doing that. We're cutting their limes and mixing up all the salsa for them. That's us. We aren't supposed to be giving them food. They're supposed to be working for us. But we are in captivity. We aren't supposed to serve anybody. You understand? Our fathers have sinned and are not. They sinned and they died. And we have borne their iniquities. We bore their sins. The things that our fathers did, we are paying for them. So don't ever let anybody tell you, were you in captivity? Were you in slavery? Yes, we're in captivity right now. Do you pay a water bill? God said if you pay a water bill, you're in slavery. But what about the white people? They pay for water. What about the Asians and Arabs? They pay a water bill. If they want to oppress their own people, that's none of our business. We are in captivity. They have Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, FBI, ATF, and a police force for them. We have none of that. You understand? The Lord says in verse 8, servants have ruled over us, and there is none that doth deliver us out of their hand. Nobody delivers us out of their hand. This is a direct scripture to be delivered out of their hand. This is a precept that you can use for Luke chapter 1 and verse 71 to 74. That what salvation is for is to deliver us out of the hand of the people that oppress us. You understand? It says we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of them that hate us. That's the purpose for salvation. All right, so those of y'all writing, taking notes, y'all can write down Luke chapter 1 and verse 71. It'd be a good precept that we should be saved from our enemies. We need to be saved from the hand of them that hate us. Which is even more crazy why anyone talks about salvation being for another nation of people completely doesn't understand the Bible at all. Like it doesn't even make sense. Hold up, Salaki. To perform the mercy promised to our fathers. All right. Luke. Lamentations. We give y'all this other precept in Lamentation. Servants have ruled over us. Fathers of sins. None that deliver us out of their hand. You can do this, deliver us out of their hand. I'm going to get a few more. You can precept that. Like that. Let's get a couple more. All right, we're supposed to have an inheritance. This is the Lord said. Jeremiah. We'll go from here to Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 11. Where the Lord said, have a nation change their gods. None of these other nations forget their gods, which are yet no gods. They worship their statues, their images. They've not changed their culture. But my people have changed their glory, the glory of being the children of God, of the God of the Bible, for that which doth not profit. It doesn't profit us to join the other nations of people and take their customs. It makes the nations rich. Anyone who's a Christian gets rich. They get rich because blacks and Latinos are Christians. I'll never forget this story. This story where the Roman Catholic Church made a church. They made a church in El Salvador, Honduras one, and it was a $50 million church. They worked on this church at $50 million. And after the brothers and sisters worked to build this church, they told them then, oh, we don't have the money to pay y'all. We sorry. But, you know, Lord be with y'all. In the name of the Father and all of that, you good to go. The water. And they didn't pay it. Knowing that they need money, knowing that the Catholic Church takes in billions of dollars of donations from all across the world every single year. They worked these brothers and sisters and then stiffed them on the bill and gave them nothing. So now they have to walk from all throughout the tropics, all throughout the entire country of Mexico to come to the United States to try to get and reap the benefits of all the fruit that is stolen from them by the United Fruit Company and Dole and Del Monte, filling up all the canned goods section and all the grocery section in the local grocery stores here in America. You understand? Everybody wondering why the Latino brothers and sisters is here in America is because America stole all of their livelihood and resources from out the tropics so that they cannot survive in Central and South America because some rich white senator has stolen everything from them. So even if they get all of this money in food stamps, which they're not giving everybody, even if they give it to them, America has stolen so much more than what little pennies that they're giving them versus what is owed. All right. So now we want to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. And let's see what the Lord said. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 30. All right. 28 and 30 says, thou shalt betroth the wife. Meaning this is your woman. This woman's supposed to be with you. Thou shalt betroth the wife. You're going to be engaged to a wife. And another man shall lie with her. Somebody else having sex with your woman, that's slavery. That's slavery. You're in captivity. How do you know you're in captivity if somebody else is having sex with your woman? And a man is having sex with another man's woman. This is captivity. How do you know? Because if we were not in captivity and a man had sex with another man's wife, what would happen to that man and that woman? They would be unalived. Why? Because we are in our land. We're in our heritage, under our law as a nation. We're in captivity. The oppressor allows adultery. Adultery destroys us as a people. It destroys a family. It destroys the children. It destabilizes an entire home, entire cities, neighborhoods, communities. It destabilizes everything. You understand? The Lord says sex is marriage and it's permanent. This is a permanent relationship, a building block in your life that everything else may change. Your school, your high school, your job, your middle school, but the fact that you are permanently tied to someone, that never changes until one of your lives is over. That's permanent. If nothing else is assured and guaranteed in life, after you have sex with this woman, you have sex with this man, sister, this is permanent. It's guaranteed forever. Well, to break that, your lives must be forfeited. And the reason why that it's not happening, and it is so rampant, is because we are in captivity. In Christ's kingdom, you will lose your life for having sex with another man's woman. Sister will lose her life. The man will also lose his life. And this will keep our nation from being destabilized and filled with chaos the way that we have now. The fact that it's going on is because we are in captivity. This is a curse that the Lord said would happen that was never supposed to be happening amongst our people. It says, thou shalt build a house, meaning you are going to build a house and thou shalt not dwell therein, meaning you're going to build a house, but you won't get to live in a house that you build. You would think, well, that's so strange. How is that strange? Because blacks and Latinos are building all the houses in America. Who's on the construction site building the houses, fixing the buildings, building the apartment complexes? You see mostly our Latino brothers, mostly blacks and Latinos doing all the construction across America. Do you know that God said you are not supposed to be building a house for another man to live in? Did you know that? How many people knew that? That you weren't supposed to be building houses for other people, that you yourself could not live in the house. Who knew that? Think of all the construction sites that you saw in your life. All the brothers and sisters now and sisters that you know that have done construction. Think of all of them that you saw. You didn't know that, did you? That is a curse. You aren't supposed to be building a house for somebody else. You aren't supposed to be building a house for somebody else to live in, that you yourself don't have a house. You are building another man a house, a city, a townhouse, a mansion. And when you are done building this apartment complex, you can't live here. It's not for you. The reason why you see blacks and Latinos on all the construction sites is because we are in slavery according to God. Y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know that, right? We're in captivity. You aren't supposed to be constructing a whole goddamn apartment complex for another man to live in that's not for you. You understand? This is how you know. The Lord wants you to know and realize we're in captivity. It says, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Nobody gonna save us. Christ is coming to deliver us, but we're not gonna get out of this captivity. Marcus Garvey tried. Elijah Muhammad tried. Khalid Muhammad tried. Malcolm X tried. Marcus Garvey tried. The Moors tried. The Latter-day Saints in the Baptist Church tried. Martin Luther King tried. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. The civil rights leaders tried. The Black Panthers tried. The Egyptologists tried. The sovereign citizens tried. All of them ended up in jail. None of that worked. You understand? The Lord said, thou shalt not dwell therein. Salakia. I missed a couple of scriptures. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard. Thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. How many people have planted a vineyard before? Anybody ever grew grapes before? Any of you brothers and sisters ever grew grapes before? Who here has grown grapes? You planted a vineyard. You planted grapes. The brother, Uncle Nearest, he taught them how to make that Jack Daniels whiskey. A slave named Nathan Green, Uncle Nearest. The liquor is called Uncle Nearest. Well, he taught the oppressor, Jack Daniels, how to make that Jack Daniels recipe. He taught him how to do that. Well, that's Israelite customs, making the spirits and the liquor and strong drink and wine. That's Israelite customs. You don't have a vineyard, right? You don't have grapes. You don't have a vineyard. Guess what? You're supposed to. Did you know you were supposed to have grapes, brother? You were supposed to have a grape vineyard? Did you know you were supposed to have one? How many people knew that they were supposed to have one? I know you don't have one. Who knew you were supposed to have them? Bet you didn't know you were supposed to have them, did you? Let's keep going. While y'all answer that, I'm going to keep going. Who knew that they were supposed to have grapevines, grape vineyards? A vineyard is a field where your grapes grow. You didn't know that? You're supposed to. You know why you don't have them? Because God said we're in captivity. If we weren't in captivity, we would have our own grapes. We don't have them now because we're in slavery. That's why you got to go to the grocery store and get the little bitty grapes. You understand? That's barely a grape. According to in our land, well, a cluster of grapes was so big, You had to bring it on a dinner plate that it was so big. Well, we grew grapes and wine. We doing that, but we not gonna get them. They're going to Barefoot. They're going to Sutter Home. That's who they're going to. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes. Anybody, you own any ox, any cattle, any buffalo to work and plow your fields? Who here owns an ox? What about you, Tower Bob? You got an ox? Ayam Pakwak, Tower Bob, Raya, y'all got an ox? Anybody got an ox? It says, thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes. That's what happened to the tribe of Gad. The cowboys were Native Americans, so-called Mexicans, who are the Native Americans of Texas and California. Those were the cowboys. Blacks and Latinos were the original cowboys, you understand? Now you think the cowboys, you think a white man wrangling cattle, singing country music, wearing Levi jeans with cowboy boots on. That's Israelite customs. You don't have a field either. You don't have cattle. Well, you're supposed to have cattle and a field. We don't have cattle in a field because we're in slavery. The Lord said, thine ass shall be violently taken away. Your donkey to put all your stuff on shall be violently taken away, and thou shalt not be restored. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies. Y'all got sheep? I know you got any sheep. Sister Brid, you got sheep. Rye, you got sheep. Y'all got dog, Tower Boff. Y'all got any sheep? Y'all don't have no sheep? Well, we don't have sheep because we're in slavery. You're supposed to have sheep. We're supposed to have sheep. We're supposed to have goat. We're supposed to have oxen. We're supposed to have donkeys. You know why we don't have those? Because we're in slavery. This is how God said we would know. It says, shall be taken, given to thy enemies, thou shalt have none to rescue them. It says, thy sons and daughters shall be given to another people. It's 1 million of us sitting in captivity right now in the prison. Every single day you send your kids to school, they're given to another people. That's not our school system. It's not our school curriculum. It's not our educational system. They're not learning about being Israelites. They're not learning the dietary law. They're not learning God's laws on sex and marriage. They're learning an alternative lifestyle. They're learning LGBT. They're not learning that you can't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. They're not learning our civil laws. They're not learning God's high holy days. They're learning Halloween right now. They're learning Thanksgiving, and Mother's Day, Father's Day, and Easter egg hunts, and Valentine's Day, and Happy New Year. They're not learning our customs. That means they're given to another people. Don't you know your children are not supposed to be given to another people to learn the customs of another nation? That's why the Lord told us when we got to our land to wipe all of them and their religions and their customs out so that our children did not learn their customs. You know why are we learning from another nation of people? Because we are in slavery according to God. You understand? Our sons and daughters in Indian boarding schools. You understand? Where the Catholics beat the hell out of them and put them in electric chairs and forced them to not speak their native languages. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Child Protective Services has our children. The adoption agencies and centers and the shelters and foster homes are filled with Black and Latino children. Well, our sons and daughters are given to another people. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. That's what happened. The United Fruit Company, Dole and Del Monte and Tropicana, they stole the bananas. They stole the oranges and pineapple and all the fruit that comes from Central and South America. They stole it. Everything that the land produces, our Latino brothers and sisters cannot enjoy it. That's why they're starving. That's why they have to come to America in order to get the resources that America stole from El Salvador, stole from Guatemala, stole from Mexico, stole from Peru, stole from Bolivia, stole from Colombia and Ecuador, stole from Venezuela. They don't get the benefit of the resources of all the fruits and herbs in Puerto Rico. They don't get to enjoy them in Haiti. America is stealing from Haiti. Canada stealing from Haiti. Kenya stealing from Haiti. All the nations in the world are stealing from us. We don't get to enjoy it. So before you go cry about how Ukraine and Russia is suffering and how the China and Mao Zedong and everybody else is suffering, make sure you realize that no one is crying about how our tribes are suffering. Somebody you don't know is the reason you can't eat the fruit in your own land. They get rich while we starve. And the Lord said, so thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. It's going to make you angry. You're going to be mad. The Lord shall, verse 435 said, the Lord shall smite thee in the knees. Who got bad knees? Who got bad knees? Who got pain in their knees? You try to walk and your knees is hurting you. You in pain in your knees. And smite thee in the legs. You got pain in your legs. Your legs hurt. And you want to go walk. You want to go, you got pain in your legs, pain in your knees. Your feet hurting you in pain all the time. You stand up too long. You sit down too long. You're in the car too long. You walk too long. You're in so much pain. Bursitis and fibromyalgia and my sciatic nerve and my leg is shooting, it go down my leg. And it lock up on me and just in so much pain. Well, guess what? That's a symptom of being in captivity. Because when we had the bodies that the Lord gave us, there was no sick amongst us. There was no feeble amongst us. There was no weak amongst us. We disobeyed the Lord and got punished. If we weren't in captivity and we were in our homeland and the Lord was with us, we wouldn't have these bodies with all this pain, with the legs hurting and the knees hurt. People stealing our fruit. We paying rent and mortgage. We buying water. Water fall out the damn sky. We get a bill for water. That is because God said we are in slavery with a sore botch that cannot be healed. It's a pain. You can't heal it. It just keep coming back from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. All kind of health problems. You understand? All these problems. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, your leader, which thou shalt set over thee. This leader you gonna set over you. Black people chose Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, Kamala Harris. We chose these leaders. God said, I would put the leader that's supposed to rule over you. But our people chose our own leader. That is being in captivity. You don't get to choose your leader. Your leader is appointed by God. You'll know him. He don't have to campaign. You'll know who he is. You'll know him. He'll have a reputation amongst you. It won't be a surprise. He won't show up out of nowhere and you see commercials for Angela also Brooks or Barack Obama. I'm Kamala Harris. I approve this message. I'm Donald Trump. I'm running for Senate. You won't have a stranger that you don't know being in charge of anything. Strangers are in charge of our communities now. That's why everything is torn apart. That comes from being in captivity. You know who would rule your community? The fathers that own all the land and the goats and the sheep, that raise the sons and the daughters, that make the cities and the towns. That's who would rule the land. And their sons would become the officers. That would be the priests to keep the law and the order. That would be the 911 and the emergency services. That's if we weren't in captivity. Now, you dial 911, the oppressor shows up with his law, with his training, with his rules. You understand? The Lord said, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. We didn't know about the white man. We didn't know about the Arabs and the Africans. And there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. That wood representing the Christian cross, and that stone representing Islam. Our blacks and Latinos, Christians today, praying the rosary, Hail Mary, in the church, Southern Baptist, Seventh-day Adventist, Pentecostal, non-denominational, Presbyterian, Lutheran, Methodist. Why? Because we are serving other gods of wood. Are you a Muslim now? And stone. This is exactly what he said. And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among all the nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. Why they can't just get it together? She's a baby mama. That's a proverb. You a baby mama. You're not a husband, you a baby daddy. She's not a princess or a daughter of Zion. She's a thought. She's an Instagram model. That's what she are. She's an OnlyFans model. You're not a princess anymore. You're not precious and rare. You understand? Well, you're not a prince of the power. You live in an alternative lifestyle. You TD Jakes, you was a power bottom. Or you a Diddy now. Or you a parolee or a gang member or a migrant or the bad element in the neighborhood or a thug. You understand? Or someone looking for a handout or a project kid or a hood rat, a Section 8 baby. They got all kind of, or a coconut, proverb, and or a wetback or a spick or a savage, an Indian. You know the word Indian is a proverb. That's not an actual term. Indian means savage. You understand? Haiti means hell from French. That's not the name of the Levite brothers. They didn't choose themselves. Haiti means hell. The French went through hell dealing with the Haitians. So your identity is hell. And they treat you like hell. Dominican Republic, Dominican, the port of riches, Puerto Rico. That's not an identity. A Puerto Rican is a proverb, a byword. That's not an actual identity of someone. A Jamaican is not the actual identity of someone. How do I know? The Chinese moved to Jamaica. They can be Jamaican too. The Arabs and Africans and East Indians moved to Jamaica. They're Jamaican too. So it can't be an actual identity if I can come from wherever the hell all across the world and I move here and now you and I have the same identity. That's not an actual identity. I'll give you another one. African American. The Africans know you're not one of them, and the Americans said you were 3/5 of a human being. So that's not an identity either. That's a proverb. That's a byword. What is the proverb? Don't be like them. That's a bad element in town. That's a bad neighborhood. That's the ghetto, the barrio, the reservation, the slums, the projects. Don't move over there. It's not safe over there. You got to watch the people around here. You got to keep your head on the swivel around here. That's a proverb and a byword. Life was not like that amongst ourselves when we were not in captivity. We had brotherhood. We had sisterhood. You could leave your door unlocked. You understand? Everybody would look out for your kids as though they were their own kids. Nobody would take your woman. Nobody would kidnap your sons and daughters. Nobody would give them drugs because I don't want anybody giving my son or my daughter drugs. No one would have sex with your daughter and throw her away because none of us would want any of our daughters, somebody to have sex with them and throw them away. We didn't have any of this. This is what life became because God said we are in captivity. You understand? The Lord said, verse 40, thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with oil, for thy olive shall not cast its fruit. How many people knew you were supposed to have olive trees? It's Israelite custom to have olive trees. Thou shalt begat sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. CPS coming to get them kids. Immigration coming to get them kids. All thy trees and thy fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. How many people knew you were supposed to have your own fruit trees? We're supposed to have our own pear trees, apple trees, lemon trees, orange trees, lime trees, pomegranate trees. How many people knew you were supposed to have fruit trees of your own? That we were supposed to have our own. How do you say apple in Hebrew? I think it's tawapah, something like that. I put it in the message a while ago. We had an entire city named Apple Tree. because this city was filled with apples. It's in the land today of what's known as Palestine. It was the land of Judah. It was named Apple Tree. I think it's Topple War or something like that. Well, guess what? We were supposed to have apple. We were supposed to have apple trees, all manner of fruit trees. But we don't have them. We buy our fruits from the grocery store because we're in captivity. We're supposed to have our own apples and fruits growing on our own trees. You understand? But we don't because we're in captivity. God said, this is how you know we're in captivity. Let me see. Tapawak. Tapawak is apple. You understand? Tapawak is apple. We had entire cities that was known for apple trees. Known for apple. Could you imagine going to a city where all Tapawak, there you go, Tapawak, all through the city is apples. The city is known for apples. You understand? It's known for apples. Let me see if I can. Known for apples. I probably got to go to Blue Letter to get it. We up over the time. You understand? But that's how you know. The Lord was telling us that he would bless us with all of these things if we just obeyed him, and we did not. We didn't obey him. You understand? The Lord said in verse 44, the stranger, verse 43, the stranger that is within thee, the other nation of people shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. That's why the East Indians, the Asians, the Africans, the Arabs, they all got businesses in our neighborhood. And if you want a job, they might hire you. He shall lend to thee, thou shalt not lend to him. He gonna let you hold something. You want bread, you want a sandwich, some salad, you're gonna get it from him. He shall be the head, thou shalt be the tail. You gotta wait on him to move. You understand? Like, this is what the Lord said. This is how the Lord said you would know. Nation come up against us. Verse 56. Verse 54 said the man that is tender, a young man. He's not a rough, hard man. He's a young man. That's why I said the man that is tender among you. He's a young brother and very delicate. He ain't strong yet. His eyes shall be evil toward his brother. That's why all the young brothers killing each other, fighting each other, hating each other, dissing each other. All in the streets, everywhere, every city, East Coast, West Coast, down south, all in Central South America, every brother at each other's throats. That's a curse from the Lord. That comes from being in captivity. And toward the wife of his bosom, toward his woman, his wife, his rib, and towards the remnant, the leftover of his children. Whoever doesn't get aborted, whoever doesn't, the pregnancy doesn't go to full term, and the sister end up miscarrying and losing the baby. What's left of his children, you understand, which he shall leave. He gonna leave them children. Some brother left you alone with them children. That is because we're in captivity. That would never happen in our nation. There's nowhere he could go and leave his wife and his children. Didn't matter if he had 4 wives and children with all 4 of them. He could never leave any of his wives. He could not just leave you with those children and go on about his life. He could not go find a wife that he liked better and just disregard you. That is unlawful. He could not do that. He would not be allowed to do that. That would not be accepted. Society would not accept him. He would face a severe punishment and be sent back to his wife and his children. You understand? The reason that's not happening now is because we're in captivity. That all of these are symptoms that God said we are in captivity, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat. He's going to destroy and tear apart his own children because he have nothing left him in the siege. He doesn't have anything left. His goats are gone. His bulls are gone. His fruit trees are gone. His land is gone. Someone else is having sex with his woman. He don't have anything left. Well, that's because we're in captivity. And in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The enemies live in your gates. They would never get to live in your gates before. Why? Because the Lord gave an order for you to wipe them out. How could they live in our gates if they don't exist? If they ran for their lives as far away from us as they could, the same way you would run if a pride of lions stormed through your neighborhood. You wouldn't stay there. Imagine you woke up tomorrow and you see lions in your front yard, in your backyard, in the woods. You turn on the TV, it's lions everywhere. They done moved into your neighborhood. How long you gonna stay in that neighborhood? We gone. Put whatever you can in the truck, and we doing 80 all throughout the neighborhood until we get as far away as we can from these lions, because it's lions in the damn neighborhood. Well, that's how the Lord wanted the other nations to look at us. And that is how they used to look at us before we integrated and got weaker and weaker each generation. Well, the Spirit of the Lord is to build that strength back up in us and to repair what was damaged from so long ago. This is what the Lord said, how you know we're in captivity. So if anybody ever comes to you and tells you that, hey, you're not in captivity, you're not in slavery, it's 2024. This is what the Lord said slavery is. All right. Verse 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, the young sister, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. She would never put her bare foot on the ground because that foot was so delicate, so tender, so soft. She's not going to put her bare feet on the ground. That's a princess foot. Well, now she walking in that grass. She walking on that ground. She on the concrete, getting in fights, you understand, in a dress, in her bare feet, in the street, fighting, scrapping, throwing hair, wigs, tracks getting pulled out, braids getting ripped. Why? Because she's not tender and delicate no more. Now she's Sexy Red. Now she Glorilla. Now she Cardi B. Now she Megan Thee Stallion. Now she Lil Kim. She ain't tender and delicate and sweet and a princess no more. For she shall eat them in want of all things, secretly in the siege and in the straitness. She's going to be angry at her daughter. She's going to hate that daughter because the daughter got a young figure the way that she used to have before she started having kids. That daughter ain't ruined her life the way her life is ruined. Now that you growing up and seeing somebody else got an opportunity to not make all the mistakes that you made with your freedom and being grown in my body, my choice. But now she's going to hate that young daughter. She's going to despise her and belittle her and teach her things that will harm her, to destroy her. That many mothers teach their daughters now. You understand? Well, that comes from us being in captivity. You understand? See sisters yelling at their kids, talking to their kids like they hate their children. That comes from us being in captivity. We would never like that to each other. You understand? Our enemies have distressed us. Like this is what the Lord was saying. So now we're going to skip down to the number 1 in verse 68. We're going to end it there. The Lord said, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. We would go into a house of slavery or bondage a second time in cargo slave ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, meaning our homeland in the Middle East, thou shalt see it no more again. That's why our people don't know we come from the Middle East, because we haven't seen our homeland in so many generations, so many centuries. We were in Africa for generations. We've been in America for generations. Our people don't even know we come from the Middle East. Apart from the ISUPK, the rest of our people been trying to get back to Africa. We went to Africa. The Africans were eating us in Liberia. We went to Ethiopia. The Ethiopians made the Benjamites live in the damn woods. You understand? Made them live in the woods, told them, cut your own trees down. You cannot join a part of our society. You can't join Ethiopia and be brothers while you worshiping Haile Selassie and Rastafari. They told the Benjamites to go live in the goddamn woods. You understand? But the Ethiopians, being a part of the British Empire, they were able to come and move to Jamaica, and the Jamaicans treated them with wonderful hospitality. That's why the Lord said you're not supposed to love another nation of people. You thinking you doing right, and the right human thing to do is accept everybody. When they get an opportunity, they will not accept you. You won't be our brother. You won't be their brother. You'll have to go and live in the damn woods and make a life for yourself. And if you make too good a life, they'll come back and steal it from you. That's why the Lord said never to join another nation of people. We live in some fantasy world. The other nations of people don't love us. You understand? And there we shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. A man or woman that has a price on their head. And no man shall buy you. No man shall free us. Old Quaker English. You understand? That's how the Lord said we know we're in captivity. All right, we're going to end it there. We up over the time. The water. You understand? We at the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You start out at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. You're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not in the ISUPK, you're not in the truth. Rule for new brother and sister. The brother and sister comes into the school. They're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to learn and share themselves with the world. After the 6-month period, if a brother or sister has a particular interest in anyone, they're to get counsel from the head to speak to a brother or sister. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will then get permission from the head to marry. It's a very intricate process, you understand? Tithes, which is a commandment from the Most High. Numbers, you understand? 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives to you. You get right to ISUPK.com. You pay your tithes right online. All right. Upcoming High Holy Days. High Holy Days coming up. You have the close of the memorial blowing the trumpets. You got the closing coming up. That's going to be tomorrow. The High Holy Day Department have reached out to everybody. Make sure you're there. Be in communication there. All right. And lastly, if any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, they'll be in all black. Black boots, shirt, pants, headband, war scarf. Contact the ISUPK school, whatever city or state that you're in. If you're a sister, you cannot be a trooper, but make sure you contact the school as well to notify that specific school you want to be a sister in the ISUPK. Watching classes online is not good enough. You must do that, all right? And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Yahweh Shemel Shabarakatham. To the sisters, Yahweh Shamar Al-Athan by Hashem Yahweh Shah. With that, tune in right here. Hebrew language class every Friday night. Also, Yagadav Simatazah Kara, Elisha 1, Kodash, learn your language. You understand? And with that,
Talk to me. Played the horn of Lord and served other gods. Remember the days of old, we the lost tribes. They don't believe the Bible. They say a white man wrote it, but still celebrate them holidays from white men, don't they? Like Christmas and Thanksgiving appetites. I don't even see my closest family half the time. Going out ain't an option, I won't compromise. I got integrity and more heart than Valentine. I retweeted a book they sell on Amazon, owned by the same folks that told them to apologize. Remember slaves couldn't read, wasn't allowed. So it's meaning when I tell you I'm black and I'm proud. Murdered us with the sword, that's how we learned religion. Community standards violate my First Amendment. Discontinue from our heritage under these bastards. Life a bitch, they make up lies and give you public lashes. I understand they confused by who the devil is. Why my people get so mad when I tell them this. Valley of dry bones, my niggas skeletons. It's hectic out there, hope you checking on your relatives. Brotherhood, that's what my weapon is. And I crackers take it from you. Real talk, you probably never heard this all of your life. Be careful, cause that thing you love, it'll cost you your life. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga.
Yeah.
We build this shit
nigga,
on
I done lost family, I done lost friends. Day one, niggas thought was riding to the end. Still showed up, put in that work. Hide behind a smile while I'm walking with this hearse. Some nights I felt alone, most nights I felt cold. Some nights I drove around, I ain't wanna go home. Nigga, I ain't never been, nah, I ain't never fold. Follow orders like a soldier doing what I'm told. Even when the council wasn't making any sense, I ain't never doubted, I just put it to the test. Days I was fucked up and down to my last cent. Reaching in my pockets, only coming up with lint. I'm talking even on the days that I couldn't pay my rent. I put it down for my brothers, ain't spared no expense. If I ever got bent, caused an offense, please forgive you, brother, Lord, that ain't what I meant. See that brotherhood a weapon, fight against deception. When something taken from you, then it's just a blessing. Shorty really loved me, gave me everything she got. And I'm sorry, baby girl, if I ever broke your heart, man. Mistakes that I made, don't know if they'll fade. Moving with a heavy heart, living with the pain. Take away the shame, wash away the stain. Praying to the Lord for the days that I was Cain. Sheesh.
Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood.